Happy Wednesday. And sometimes I know that it's not happy. Like there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, in the home, sometimes with us. And I wanted to be able to share on this episode what really supported me on my journey. And I'm hoping that it can be able to support you in really stepping into that total success and that total prosperity that we are all called to have, not just me, you too, and everyone that you're connected to. So, I wanted to share today the 4 P's that actually prevent success. A lot of times we have a goal, we have a vision, there's a desire to do something, and there's so many different obstacles that come in the way, some that are expected and some that are not expected as well. And we cannot I always talk about how and this is that comes from emotional intelligence and cultivating emotional wisdom. We cannot control the things that are happening out externally, but we can control how we respond. And our greatest power is in the response. So for those of you who, are dealing with stuff, need prayer, let me know, reach out to me, want to connect. I'm here. I'm actually dedicating this month to sharing. And sharing is caring, right? This is Women's History Month. There's International Women's Day coming up. And I know, even being a woman and a Black woman at that, there was always this stigma and always this difficulty with feeling less than. And I want to let you know that, you know what, you're actually more than. For those who have been going through some craziness, some chaoticness, some oppression, right? I want to let you know that that means that your calling is greater. And if you spot it, you got it. Well, so a lot of people ask, like, Dr. Heather, how in the world did you do this? The word is resiliency and cultivating emotional wisdom and paying attention to our relationships that are really the most important. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And remember, the most important things aren't things, there's our connection with other people. Okay, so let me get into this. The first one, the first P, and I want you to let me know at the end of this video which one spoke the most to you today. So the first one is pressure, right? The first thing that can prevent our success oftentimes can be pressure that we may be experiencing from other people, other places, other things, maybe losses, maybe chaos in the workplace, etc., etc. The list goes on and on and on. And so we can be impacted, especially as we're going on this journey of pressure, expected and unexpected. The goal is to become the calm and the peace, even in the midst of the chaos, and take the pressure off. Now, how to do that is recognizing the things that you can control and recognizing the things that you can control, and also expanding your awareness, because a lot of times the problems, this is pretty interesting because I've learned a lot from coaching and watching other coaches coach, and really being able to recognize, like, coaching is a very humbling thing because you realize, like, your problems aren't necessarily as big as other people. Like, people have real problems going on right now, and there's also solutions to those problems. So we can become part of the solution, or we can contribute to being part of the problem. Now, this whole awareness piece I talk about is that sometimes you may get hate from other people. You may get hate from places. You may get hate from things. And recognize that a lot of it has to do probably what's going on with the other person. So take the pressure off and recognize, have more awareness, pray for more awareness to be able to have a full picture of what's going on as compared to this usual focal view point that we usually have. Okay, so pressure. Let's overcome the pressure. Let's take the pressure off. Need support taking the pressure off? Definitely reach out to me. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you got your ticket Yet for the Voices of Women Summit, and awesome men can register too. I will put the chat in the link. I will put the link in the chat below after I finish this video, so therefore you can get your ticket, because I'm actually going to be talking about peace under pressure and 5 secrets to balancing biz life harmony at that event. And I'm one of 100 speakers who's going to be there sharing their wisdom, because it's about expression. Suppression is depression, but expression is freedom. We have this voice, right? Like, I used to hate my voice. I don't know about y'all. How many of y'all used to hate your voice? Now I love my voice and I cannot stop hearing it enough. So it's about falling back in love with everything that you are, because you're amazing. If you haven't heard it today, you are amazing. Okay. The second P that gets in the way of success: perfectionism. Okay, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Any recovering perfectionists out there? Underneath perfectionism has a lot to do with fear of getting it right, fear of it not being enough, fear of it maybe being judged, right? And I want to tell you, what are you afraid of? Don't you know what you are made of? Remember that you are far more worth more than rubies in itself. Priceless. Priceless in God's eyes. And the goal is to let you know that you're priceless in your own eyes too. So therefore other people can see your pricelessness, and then we can all just be priceless together and value life, as compared to hating it or not feeling so good about it. Hope that makes sense. Also, it is okay to be perfectly imperfect. See, perfectionism is poverty, is stagnation, is paralysis, and it can prevent you from really moving forward. And it actually leads to the third P of procrastination. Any procrastinators out there? It's okay. I'm a recovering procrastinator too. And it's procrastination, that paralysis and stagnation. You can feel like frozen, like scared to move forward, not sure about moving back. And when you overcome the procrastination, that's when the prosperity really comes. So we got to take action. We have to take inspired action towards our goals and dreams. And it doesn't have to be much. Like, awesome, this is a video. Go ahead and go live and do a video. What's a message that you want to share with somebody? Share it, because the right person, or maybe not even the right person, um people will hear your message and you can give them hope, you can give them inspiration. I'm hoping that this is giving you inspiration, because my desire is to inspire and let people know that no matter who they think that they are, there's so much more than that, and there's a lion or a lioness inside just waiting to be free for all the world to see, so you can step into your prosperity. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop. This is good. This is too good. Okay, so overcome perfectionism. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can always tweak it later. You just got to go and take a step, right? There's the story about, I think Martin Luther King talked about taking the step even though you don't know if it's there. But if you don't take the step, what happens? What is the cost of things staying the same? So we can either hear the call for our life, or we can continue to endure the pain fighting against it. I know it's sometimes scary to take that step, but I promise you, just take a baby step. Maybe one of the baby steps is don't go the battle alone and have some support, so therefore you can break free. Power of coaching, the coaches are able to see, as a coach, I'm able to see, or not even really see, but step into those questions and get ask those questions that will allow my client to be able to open up, to be able to expand, to see that there's more options. It's not just black and white. It can be black, white, gray, purple, so many different options. So break free from perfectionism and it will do wonders. So that perfectionism leads into the procrastination, which is number three. The third P to overcome that is preventing your success is procrastination. And procrastination, I used to procrastinate greatly. And what happened was lives were literally being lost because of my procrastination and not showing up. So, for those of you, especially coaches out there who are hearing this message, it is time to show up. It is time to elevate your leadership, and we are all leaders. We may be leading different people. Even if you're a mom, you're leading your family, right? Even like, who are you leading? First of all, who are you leading? Where do you want them to go? And then that kind of forces you to elevate too. So elevating your leadership. And the next one is communicate. Communicate with the right people. It is time to attract more clients and change more lives. It's so much easier to do than people think. So sometimes because it's so overwhelming, or they think that we think that there has to be a lot of stuff to put effort to put into it. How many of you thought or grew up thinking you got to work hard for money, right? You got to work hard. Well, the reality is that's not true. You can work smarter and not harder. You can work 20 hours a week and probably make twice as much as you would or more than if you work 40 hours a week. For those of you who are working a full-time job right now, awesome. And if you feel like, you know what, there's something else that I'm missing, or maybe I want to be my own boss, or I'm called to be able to do something else and I'm not sure what that is, definitely reach out to me, because you know what, maybe you're called for entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is freedom. The best part about my job is the only boss that I have is God. And you know what? When you and God are working together on one accord, empowering the masses and changing lives, there's no greater fulfillment than that. So sometimes God will make us uncomfortable to push us to the next level. Any of y'all feeling uncomfortable? Is there like a little resistance there? What if you broke free from the resistance and the procrastination and just took that inspired action to do it? So the question you want to ask yourself, what are you procrastinating about? What are you called to do? Right? What this I said today, this is a new day, a new season. And I know it hasn't become spring yet, but this is the opportunity to become everything that you're called to be and reap the harvest of your former hard work, and make it easier. And yes, 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 you can. If I can do this, I know that each one of you is totally possible to do it too. Okay. This last P is pretty serious and pretty crucial. The last P is poverty. So this is the fourth P that prevents success. Why do I say poverty? Because there's several different mindsets. There's a fixed mindset where you think that it's always going to be this way and it'll never change, right? Or you never wanted to change. Or there's a growth mindset, recognizing that, you know what, timing is perfect. You're on this trajectory to be able to do better. Do not stay complacent, right? Again, I mentioned God sometimes pushes us, our envelope, to make us uncomfortable so therefore we can move. So if any of you are struggling, like the biggest thing that I hear about is like finances. I'm struggling in my finances right now. Well, first, think about, what is your relationship with money? What are your beliefs about money? What are your beliefs about time, right? The beliefs that there's some beliefs that can support you in achieving prosperity, and there's some beliefs that can prevent you from achieving prosperity. So we want to break free from the poverty mindset that there's not enough money, that I'm always going to be broke, that, I have to live paycheck to paycheck, or I never have enough money. The universe is abundant. So whereas, yes, a lot of people have lost their jobs or had to force the switch during COVID. So we're now getting ready to be, so there's BC, before COVID. Everybody thought life was good. It was still chaotic, but life was good. And then during COVID, DC, that basically shut everything down. Finances became a really big problem. And you know what? And a lot of people lost their jobs. And I remember, shout out to Joyce if she's listening to this, that she had told me, she's like, Heather, if you can't find a job, or you're not happy with a job, or you don't really want to do a job, then create one. Create one. What there like there's people that may have lost money during COVID, but there's also people that gained a whole bunch more money during COVID. What was the difference? The mindset and how they pivoted, or instead of perishing. So if there's a struggle when it comes to finances, pay attention to what your mindset and your relationship about money is, because it's so easy to be able to have, when we have that poverty mindset, it actually pushes away money. But when we have a good relationship and rapport with money, it actually brings it to you, right? And this is not like at a conscious level, this is also at a unconscious level. So let me know which one of these spoke to you. So there's pressure, there's perfectionism, there's procrastination, and there's poverty. Make sure you put a comment in the chat below. And also another plug, if you have not gotten your ticket for the Voices of Women Summit, and there's going to be so many more amazing things coming, make sure you grab your ticket now. The spaces are limited. It's a free event. You're going to have access to so much wisdom that you can't even contain. And everything that you're going to hear is going to be able to support you in going to that next level. So with all of this that was said, I want to remind you, we do not have to have a great past to have a great future. You have your healing is in your hands. Your future is in your hands. Your present is in your hands, and you can rewrite your story, because I know if I did it, and especially where I came from, like people used to be like, "Oh, Dr. Heather, she's always happy." I may have been happy externally, but internally I was dying and miserable. And now the smile that you see is just total joy, because the past hasn't been healed. It's still in the process of healing, but I'm more in the present, and I see a bigger vision for my future. And again, if I can do it, I know you can do it. Because if you spot the awesomeness in me, that just means that you're awesome too. So I look forward to seeing you at the summit. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope that you enjoy this amazing message and have an awesome Wisdom Wednesday. Peace.